Hello, welcome to Evolve with Natu. My name is Natu. In this channel, we talk about a lot of things, but specifically on self-improvement, self-development, and various lifestyle topics. A friendly reminder, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly make sure you do so. And make sure that you're also sharing this channel with your family and friends. And if you haven't watched our previous episodes, make sure that you also do that. On that note, today I'm delighted, I'm honored to have a guest on my show, a dear friend who wears many hats, but in the interest of today's topic, we're going to be introducing him as the CEO of Tanzania Startup Association. My dear friend Zahoro Muhaji. Karibu sana Zahoro.
Sante, welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for gracing Evolve with Natu. So today we're going to be talking about a lot of things. But to start with, I know who you are, but the audience is probably interested to know. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, who you are professionally, maybe a little bit of personal before we get into other hats that you wear in the community.
Okay. To be very brief, my name is Zahoro Muhaji. I'm 34 years old, businessman and entrepreneur, married, and I'm a very passionate guy. Very passionate about reading books, passionate about traveling, and football. And a bit more about me, I tend to be involved or to be guided by doing things or be involved myself in things which help or improve my well-being or society's well-being, prosperity, and the pursuit of happiness. Those three things. You will find me somewhere there.
Somewhere there in the midst of it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just thought very brief about it.
Well, thank you. And I think when you're talking about the pursuit of happiness, one of these things that you ended up pursuing, or one of your passions, was leading up one of renowned associations in Tanzania, the Tanzania Startup Association, and you're the chief executive officer. Now, walk me through, because you're already an entrepreneur and you decided to take up on this task. Why? Why you, and why Tanzanian Startup? So, TSA, let's just call it TSA, yes.
Yeah. First, I must say I'm a through and through entrepreneur. I was brought up from a family which ran a small business to survive. So business discussions was part of our daily life at home. Both of my parents, none of them were employed. So they used to be small business owners. That's how I was brought up. And after school, I went straight up into business and entrepreneurship. So let me say that first, I'm very passionate about this thing. I've been in many businesses. I've encountered a lot of challenges. But when I joined this startup tech ecosystem, I also encountered challenges. And I was a little bit driven. How can we make a change? One of my goals in life is to make it easier for the next person coming. If I encounter a problem, someone else should not go through the same thing because I went through. How can I make the world better, even to one person? And this, I honestly believe, entrepreneurship and startup ecosystem, it's one sector which can greatly improve livelihood of people, create employment, boost economic growth, etc. And so to me, it was just a realization that this is the potential which actually can change people's life and fortune of this country. How do we go about it? And likely, I was not the only one. We had some friends, fellow entrepreneurs, some not, who were also thinking along the same line. But at that point, we saw there was no much conducive business environment created for startups. And we thought, why don't we address this? And our idea by then was, can we just find a platform where we can have dialogue with stakeholders on how best we can create this conducive business environment. So we started discussion, and okay, the idea came that we should have an association. We were 14 of us. We went to register the association, and then it was like, who to run it? Luckily, I had time. Happened to have time, happened to be more passionate, and the skill set to drive this forward. So I said, okay, wait, I think I can do it. And everybody said, we think you're the right person. So I was just thrown into it, and I took it up, to build the association and actually to spearhead its mission of creating business environment for startups. And I do so first because I love entrepreneurship. And second, I believe I have a duty for society and for my country to create better business environments, which will lead to better jobs, decent wages, and economic growth. And it's something I totally do out of passion and patriotism, if you will say. So yeah, that's how it came about. Nothing special back then when we were starting, but yeah, I'm glad it has turned out what it has turned out to be.
And it did actually turn out to be great, because most of us who are in the social media space, we see the kind of work that you do, the impact that you are having on different startups. Now, speaking of impact, you were the part of the inception of this TSA.
Yes.
You've encountered a lot of things, I imagine. Can you think of the time, or of the times rather, when you achieved success in this journey? Understanding that also success comes with obstacles. Also think of the time when you encountered challenges, and how did your passion, because you've spoken very clearly about how passionate you are with TSA. How did you overcome those challenges with the passion that you have for this association and driving the entrepreneurial spirit forward?
Yeah, challenges were there, were bound to be there, obstacles were bound to be there. When we started TSA, it started like any other association, and this one was founded by individuals. As I said, we were 14 founding members, and we went. That was the easiest part, was to register the association. Running it was a different ball game, because now you need to have an office, you need to have staff, you need to have something to keep it going. First 2 years, being an association, remember, we are not for profit. First 2 years, the association didn't have any income, no grants, no business, nothing. So for the first 2 years, I spent my time running TSA as a CEO. I was not paid a dime.
Wow.
Actually, me and my colleagues, who were now the founders, we used to chip in our own money to keep the association afloat. So that was a major obstacle. Then after 2 years, we likely got grants to help with our work, which has helped big time in terms of operations. But other obstacles were there. The topic we were talking about, it seems at first little was known about the startup ecosystem. So we spent a lot of time trying to, navigating our way through government bureaucracy, explaining what is startup, why is it important, why people should care, So obstacles were there. And what kept me going, I think, first it was the support we were getting from the ecosystem. When we started TSA, as I said, we were 14, but in no time we had 100 members. Then second year, 200, 300. So people kept me going, because, okay, if this thing doesn't make sense, why people are still signing up? You understand? And slowly, we're starting to make a little bit difference here and there. And, I start you're going out, somebody come to you from nowhere. Hey, I know you. You're Zahoro, you're CEO of TSA. Yeah, I like what you guys are doing. Keep doing. Like, oh, wow. The life's being touched there. So I think it may quickly become bigger than me or individuals. It become the movement about how can we revolutionize the entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystem in Tanzania. So it become bigger than a person. The cause got bigger, and that kept me going, regardless of the challenges we're counting. So yeah.
So those were the challenges. What have been the achievements?
How many? But I'll tell you the two which are my favorites. Two things we've managed to achieve. And this is not for TSA itself. First, the organization didn't die. That was in Tanzania, businesses which start in Tanzania, well, not a business, but for this context, I'll tell you, a business in Tanzania, 7 out of 10 businesses in Tanzania die in first year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's an excessive number.
Yeah. And 9 out of 10 die in first 3 years.
Okay.
TSA has been here for 4 years now.
So you've beat the odds.
So we beat the odds.
Okay.
Surviving the valley of death. That's the first. But second is, so the association didn't die. It is there. It's credible. People trust it. The government trusts it. It's growing. The world trusts it. I'll say. This is a big success. But to me, I want to highlight what it means for the people. Two things. We've managed to give the startup ecosystem, its entrepreneurs, its what we call ecosystem enablers, hubs, managers, incubators. First, we've managed to give them this identity. Because when we were starting, people didn't know what to start. Is a startup just a boda guy with a boda? Is it a man on the corner with a small shop? So it was just a confusion out there. So we managed to give an identity. Today, people can go anywhere in Tanzania and say, I'm a startup founder, even within the government's office, and nobody will ask him or her, what's his startup? It has moved from looking just as a hippie kind of thing, some young guys with backpacks with their laptops. And now people are, this is actually a serious business. So identity. And second thing is credibility. Credibility meaning that we have doors opening for us, which were not possible 3, 4, 5 years ago. Right now we encounter startups working close with the government, providing solutions for government, for big, large multinational companies who are set here. That credibility and identity, I believe those are two things which open up doors for any other host of things for someone else to do. As someone coming out of college right now and going to found his or her startup, doesn't have to explain him or herself anymore. So to me, identity and credibility, those are two biggest successes we've ever achieved with TSA.
That's phenomenal. Now, you've mentioned a very interesting fact that 7 out of 10 businesses that are established will not survive the first year. 9 out of 10 will not survive the year and a half. You have been in this industry, you've been in this field for little over 13 years now, give or take. What, in your very humble opinion, what do you think it takes to lead and manage a startup to ensure that it's successful?
I think in Tanzanian context, maybe even global context, but I think 4 things. You first need to have skill sets. If you're going to found a startup in the agriculture space, you need to know how agriculture really operates, right? If you want to go and do insurance, you need to have understanding of that industry. So the skill set matters. That's the first thing. And second thing is, what all I say?
Patience.
Patience.
Patience or prevalence.
Yeah. You need to, weather the storms. They'll be there anyway. I always tell people entrepreneurship is like learning how to swim. Regardless how prepared you are, how someone will lecture you, you have to move your hands like this, like that. At the end of the day, you have to get into the water. And when you get into the water, you drink some few cups.
I think that's an insult for those of us who can swim.
So that's the reality. You understand? Storms will be there for no reason. TRA, umbrella, customers not paying on time, whatever the reason, they will come.
They will always
There's nothing right in this country. Oh, and maybe in other places. So you need to have thick skin. Third thing is, which is very true in Tanzania, mostly in Tanzanian context, is you need to have good relationships. Yeah,
Need to have those connections.
you need to have those connections. Unfortunately, you need to have people who can introduce you to the right cycle, who open to you the right doors, whether it's with investors, financials, government bureaucrats, whoever that is. But you need to have that right connections in this country to survive. That's the truth. And the fourth thing is luck.
Luck. They usually say luck meets opportunity. That's when you succeed. So I think with all those things and a little bit of luck, then you're likely
things. Yes. Because in human, one thing I know is the harder you work, the luckier you get. Lifting a kukuta njiani, you can't just stay in your house and expect somebody to come knock on your door. Hey, I'm going to Posta. Can I give you a ride? No, you have to be on the road, walking or standing, or somebody to say, hey, can we go? So the harder you work, the luckier you get. That's so true. And people generally, human beings tend to overestimate their intelligence. And forget sometimes you can do all the right things and things just don't work it out. So yeah, luck play a bigger role.
Plays a huge role.
Yep.
Now, switching gears a little bit, we've spoken a lot about the Tanzanian startup ecosystem. You also have multiple hats. One of them is you are part of the technical team for the National Development Strategy, for Tanzania's development strategy for 2050.
Yes.
You have been part of this strategy just to ensure that Tanzania is headed in the right direction.
I'm writing your future.
That said, what have been the challenges when you're coming up with these strategies? Where did you identify the stumbling blocks? And to just use your words, how did your passion help you, or how is your passion helping you overcome those obstacles while you're working on these strategies? And I understand you're part of a team, so that in itself is an advantage.
Yeah. Yes. I'm a part of a team which is tasked to draft a national development agenda it's a 25 years plan for national development. So it will take us from 2025 to 2050. First thing I must say, I'm really honored to do this. It's something you do once in a lifetime, I would say, because the opportunity comes once in 25 years. It's a tough job, I must say. Why? Because it needs a lot of imagination. We are trying to project how Tanzania should be in 2050. That's 25 years, 26 years from now.
Yes.
And you see how the technology is right now, how things change fast. Just a year ago, we had ChatGPT. You understand, with artificial intelligence. We don't know in 20 years how
Things are going to go.
be. And I need to take all that in consideration while we are drafting this. So it's a toughest job, very challenging. But I think I have a hope. First, I'm very 100% sure better days for Tanzania as a country are ahead. We still have a very beautiful country, access to sea, 3 ports, 44 million hectares of arable land, which is arable for agriculture, which is unused as we speak. 29 million of those 29 million hectares of land out of those 44 million can be done in irrigation. 60 million people, very good birth rates, young population. So with all these dynamics, you could tell Tanzania is heading to the right direction. Nevertheless, it still needs to be directed. And that's why we are coming with this strategy. What I'll say the challenges I've seen so far, we're in a very early stage. The way we'll do it is we are seeking opinion of everybody. So we'll go listen to everybody. Every Tanzanian has an opportunity to contribute to their opinion, how it should be. And our role is just to listen to them, filter, and come up with something. The challenge is, I think, one, I would say, it's a demographic divide.
So you wear a lot of hats. Other than you being the CEO of TSA, the Tanzania Startup Association, you also have a lot of other responsibilities. One of them is you are part of the technical team for the National Development Vision, NDV, for the Tanzanian Development Strategy 2050. That's a huge task, if you ask me.
Yes.
And you are tasked to come up with this grand vision of what the development for Tanzania will look like in 25 years. Tell me how that process is, and most importantly, what are the obstacles? Because I imagine it's not an easy challenge. And just using your own words, how does your passion to see Tanzania change help you overcome these obstacles when working on this evergreen? Because this strategy is probably always being updated.
Yes, I agree with you. It's a huge ask for anyone, a once in a lifetime opportunity, because as a country, we do our national development vision for 20, after every 25 years. So we're currently working on one from 2025 to 2050. It's a tough job. Why? Because vision, we are trying to imagine, make an imagination for how Tanzania should be on year 2050. Mind you, Tanzania is not an island. We're part of a global, and you see the global dynamics from geopolitics, the wars in Ukraine, the instability in the Middle East, from things like ChatGPT, artificial intelligence. We don't know how things will be in 10 years from now, right? There's a lot of things have changed in between. If you have to take back 25 years back, look how things were, and right now, completely different things. So it's a hard job to just come up with a plan and imagination of how things will be in 2050. But nevertheless, it's something that needs to be done. And personally, what I know is Tanzania, it's a beautiful country. Our best days are ahead of us. And I believe this vision will be one to create the path towards our better Tanzania. Talking about the obstacles, I think I won't say obstacles, those are challenges, part of the process. The process itself requires us, it's like writing a constitution. It requires us to listen to each and every Tanzanian. And people can give their opinion through portal online. They can do through SSD code, even without the internet. They can write letters. But we also go in the consultations meeting. But also, there will be people like what we call makarani, like how we do with census. We go in households, asking people their opinion. What do they wish for Tanzania? So it's a grand thing to do. And to me, I've been on the field listening to people's aspirations. You see that desire for Tanzania to be that good nation, that well-developed nation with decent living standards and everything else. So the challenge I see, there are many, but specifically is demographic. Tanzania, we're one country with a big challenge of demographic divide. You have people who were born before our independence, likely steering up the nation, use the key decision makers. The average age of Tanzanian is 18 years old, and you have very, very young people. So the aspirations and the experience vary across. You talk to this person, he tells you the Tanzania he wants. You talk to the next, it's total different idea. To give it a context, I think I'm the youngest in the team.
Okay.
Although we're 22 members, I'm the youngest, right? And by year 2050, I'll be 61 years old. So likely, most of people, I'm not God here, but likely, chances are a lot of people who are
Part of the team
maybe not
will be deceased by then.
Okay. So, and a child born next year, not even now, born next year, 2025, he'll be 25 years old in 2050. So you realize we are writing this vision for people who are not even born yet. Will they see things the way we see? Because, we judge based on what we see now. And what maybe we can forecast based, again, on what we're seeing right now. But reality may be totally different in the next 25 years. So that's the challenge. You see aspirations of young people want everything to be digital. And you see other people who say, no, we're not there. So it's demographic divide is a big challenge for Tanzania, but this not across, not only, I would say not only in our exercise of creating the national development vision, but almost in every aspect of Tanzania as a nation. You always have people who say, you guys are not grateful. We've been here where we, walk 5 kilometers to fetch water. So it's 5 kilometers to fetch water. Now government has put water at least 100 meters. And you have a young guy who say, you still walk 100 meters? No, I want water now in my house.
Exactly.
You will still have that. So anyway, that's what I see as a challenge. But nevertheless, it's a very exciting thing to do.
I think the demographic disparity is a challenge in a lot of, not only when you're drafting this strategy, but I think even in workplaces, when you're coming up maybe with strategies or decision making, people have different views depending on which era they come from.
True.
So I'm glad that you acknowledged it and you understand that there's ways to overcome it. Now, switching gears a little bit, now back to your personal life, you have a lot of responsibilities. You have a lot of stakeholders. You do a lot of stakeholder engagement. But your number one stakeholder, other than Allah, God, and obviously your parents and your family, you recently got married.
Yes.
How do you balance work and your personal life? Because there's a lot of responsibilities with your professional life, different hats. But at the end of the day, you have to be a husband. You have to be a son. You have to be a brother.
A firstborn. A deputy parent.
Yes, deputy parent. How do you manage all those things and making sure that Zahoro also has fun? Zahoro is being put first and the people around him who are important are also being put first.
Okay, very good question. First, I will tell myself, I have this saying which I tell to myself that things are not as important as they first seems. Yeah. As you can imagine, to me, I'm brutal when it comes to prioritization in everything. Normally, I go through my diary, look things I need to do. And normally, if there are so many things in that day, I'll write 1 to 10 blindly, 1 to 10. Then I slash top 5. Then that's it. The rest can wait. I'll do the first 5. So in that regard, I clap for myself. I'm very brutal when it comes to prioritization. But also, is to know what is important, what really matters. What if I don't do, nobody else will.
We'll do it.
Nobody else. If I don't make time to, to spend time with my wife, nobody else will do. I'm the husband. If I don't make time to go see my parents, nobody else will do. I'm their son. Even at the office, I always ask people, do I need to sit on this meeting? If I'm not here, will you guys do it? Yes, well, do it. I don't need to be here. So I also
good at delegating.
Yeah, I'm good at on delegating. And also, I think another thing is I'm very good in collaborating. I rarely have a lot of stuff which I do with people. Right now, if I want to start a business, no matter how I have everything, I have the capital, I have the know-how, I have the knowledge, I'll still seek a partner. I'm one person who have a lot of collaborators behind me. This is one of my key strengths. I'm good in building relationships and seeking collaboration with people. So it's kind of, I can have 5 things going on, but this I'm working with Mike, this I'm working with Ivan, this I'm working with whoever. Those things go, but I still keep track of everything without doing much of everything. So I'm that kind of person also. And then on the other side is try to, not be everywhere. Learn to say no. I'm also good at saying no. I'll always get asked, can you do this? No, I don't have time. Unapologetic. This, I can do this. I don't have time. Even in my personal stuff, what is my hobby? What do I like more? Growing up, I used to watch wrestling, football, basketball, boxing, number of things. Now, it's like, okay, do I need to keep up with every sports?
Not necessarily.
No. I love basketball. I'll watch NBA when it gets to playoff, semifinal. Regular season, I don't watch. Brutal. Cut it off. Football, do I have to watch every match? Can I skip some? Yes, I can skip. The old one will never end. So it's knowing, keep that balance. Try to have everything, and what some other stuff, just let them go. Yeah, so I'm very aware of that. But also, I think I'm good at planning. I'm such good in planning.
Hence why you were called in that technical team.
I think so. Maybe I'm such good in planning. In a way, I plan my time, my schedule, and this is not even my day. I plan things in quarter.
Okay.
3 months. This 3 months, I want to achieve this. I plan them. So I might not work every day. Let's say I may stay at home on Tuesday, but that doesn't stop me from working on Sunday. You understand? So I'm a bit flexible with my timings, but very good with planning long term and make sure I tick the right boxes at right time, but not necessarily on schedule. If that makes sense.
Fair enough. I think you said quarterly. Is that like the 12-week strategy or the 12?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I walk through a quarter to avoid that. If I do it, people do it day by day. I can't. I'm not that type
You're
of
a
person.
planner. You're a long-term planner.
I'm a coastal person, so one day I can wake up and say, you know what, today
I don't feel like working.
talking to anybody. So please, I cancel all the meetings. Just stay inside. So yeah, so it's better if I have a long-term view. It allows for flexibility in between.
That's interesting. Now, speaking into more personal things, you recently had a very hard loss. You recently lost your dad. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I understand he was a huge influence to you, the person that you are today. If you can just tell me, and rather tell the audience, how has your dad influenced you as a person, and most importantly, your professional aspirations?
I think, of course, I'm a first son, and My dad, I was close to my dad growing up. My dad was always around. Took me to sports, took me to National Stadium to watch Simba na Yanga, took me to boxing matches, encouraging me to watch sports, etc., news, politics, etc. So he was ever present in my life. Few things I've learned from him, and I think have greatly inspired me and helped in my life. I think its first is not to be entitled. My dad was not an entitled person. He was so clear that you don't owe the world anything. People are not here to help you. People have their own problems. So sort yourself. And growing up was that, why, I think we can get some help. I need to be helped here and there. But he was very strict. No, your problems are your problems.
Get it done.
Get it done. And I think that has set me up to be
self-sufficient.
I'm not expecting much from people. And generally, I get very less, I get very less disappointed, I'll say, because I don't expect much. And he was like that. And I'm like that. So I think that's really shaped me as a person and make me more responsible, knowing that if the medical bills come, I have to cover. There's rent I have to cover, I have whatever. And so prepare for that. So I'm always very on budget, watch out my finances very closely, make sure I have savings, I have whatever. So overall, he was a responsible person. He has made me a responsible man. And that's I'm very happy for. Professionally, my dad encouraged me to go into business. He believed in business himself. For my family, which run business, even my grandpa ran a business. So my dad encouraged me to take that path. And he was not about more of a financial angle. To him, was more of a freedom, which right now I greatly appreciate. The fact I can go to bed at any time I want, the capacity that I want, and not always, because I have some schedules to fill, meetings to go, etc. But overall, I have much
freedom
of my time, and that is the biggest dividends my career paying right now. Yeah.
Amen. Now I have two last questions before we get to our rapid fire session. Now, last but one, hili ni swali la kizushi.
Yeah.
You and I are on what was formerly known as Twitter. Now it's called X. Anytime TSA does something, you usually have mixed reviews. You have people who are like, yay, TSA. And then every now and then you have the naysayers. Iki kiko for the selected fews. Kuna watu fulani na fulani, kina Zahoro, kina nani na nani. So for people who are arguing TSA is for the select few, how do you educate them and say, wote mnakaribishwa? You're all welcome to TSA as long as you have the right case.
The thing is, before the interview we were talking, Palenje, and I was telling you, part of me have a Zaramo heritage. Maneno yanyumizi. You say whatever you want.
You have a thick skin.
Yeah, kabisa. Huko kijijini kwetu Zaramo, in our village, if you catch a thief, tunamsema mpaka anazimia.
I've never heard of this one.
Yeah, mwizi.
You guys don't, hampigi mwizi.
Hatupigi mwizi. Mwizi tunamsema mpaka anazimia. So maneno, it's not a way, it never gets under my skin most of the time, unless it's something very bad. But usually I don't. But let me tell you, TSA started with 14 members.
Yes.
Right now, we have more than 680 members. Our membership is free. You can do it over the internet. You don't even have to come and do it physical. So that means if you have an internet to get on Twitter and say, these guys don't accept us, You have the same internet, you can go on our website and fill up the form and sign up. So people who say this is for selective few, blah, 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 they're just naysayers. As naysayers, they'll continue to say, and Zaramo in me,
You don't care.
just like, it's up to you, bro. But it's open for everybody. It has demonstrated by the growth number of our membership. So yeah, what has propelled other 680 people to sign up, and you don't, and they say that's for selected few, doesn't hold water. So I normally, it's all right. You know, I always say this line I like, ignore the moves. They usually come from the chipsets.
I like that.
Yeah.
Ignore the bulls. They usually come from the chipsets.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever seen anybody who's sitting courtside on NBA shouting at the bowling? No, it's always some.
Not really. Unless I see certain celebrities, one of them that I really like, her husband is a basketball player, so every now and then she will turn. But those, granted, she paid for the seat, she can shout.
Yeah.
Yes. So now, last but not least, before we get to our rapid fire questions, you have done a lot, you have achieved a lot. What aspirations do you have for yourself personally? And most importantly, what aspiration do you have for the Tanzanian startup ecosystem, the Tanzanian entrepreneurial landscape, recognizing how far we've come, how well we're doing, and how better we can get over the years?
I think starting with our Tanzania entrepreneurial ecosystem, entrepreneurship is all about solving problems. What I aspire more is to have an ecosystem of entrepreneurs and innovators solving our day-to-day problems, providing solutions which are affordable, convenience, and needed.
Okay.
But also in the process, creating jobs, contributing to taxes, economic growth. So, and creating pool of middle, upper class, and millionaires. That's where I want this ecosystem to go. And if you look, we start looking right now. You start seeing those young millionaires coming out of the ecosystem. I'm very happy for that, and that's what I need to see more of that.
More of that.
That's what I wish for the Tanzanian startup ecosystem. And for myself, you know, coming from cost area as its issues, I'm quite laid back. I don't have much aspiration and ambitions, honestly. I just got married. I just hope to be a good husband. If God willing, be a good dad. And the rest is just to be able to say, I made Tanzania and my society or my family or anyone closer to me or even not close to me displace a better world for them. I mean, create a little bit of social impact to my time here and on else. After that, nothing much. I think, yeah, that should be enough for me. More for family and just, try to volunteer my time or whatever God has granted me to make sure there's a better tomorrow. That's it.
Amen. And I think that's good enough. You're doing more than better. Now let's get to the fun parts.
Yeah.
Zahoro.
Yeah.
What is the most adventurous thing that you've done?
Wow. I've done a lot, and try to run my life right now. There are plenty of things I've done which are more adventurous. But okay. Here's the secret. Don't tell anyone. I don't know how to swim.
Neither do I. I call myself the vice president of the Black Girls Who Can Swim Association.
So guess what? I've gone on a trip to swim with whale sharks.
That's very ballsy of you.
Yeah. So imagine a person who literally doesn't know how to swim and went to almost the middle of the ocean. You look around, there's no trees. And I still got my gears with my guide. We jump in the water, go deep, swam with a 20-foot wall shark across, went and touch it, and I was very calm. Yeah, I think that tops it.
I don't know about you. I can't swim. I need to have my life jacket. I don't know how am I going to swim with sharks without a life jacket, without being scared, but kudos to you.
Yeah.
Now, the second question, this wasn't part of the script. You and I are huge Yanga fans, but you're also a Tottenham fan, if I can remember correctly. If you had to replace one player in both teams and play their position, both Yanga and both Tottenham, which players will those be, and why would you want to play those positions?
For Yanga, I would love to play as a striker. I'll replace this player called Clement Mzinze.
Hello.
We played versus Mamelodi Sundowns, huge match. He had 2 clear chances to score and he missed them. And I wish I could be me to score those chances. Right now, we've been in semi-final of CAF Champions League.
CAF Champions League.
What, Tottenham? That's a trick question. Very good team we have. Okay, that's tough. But should be Van de Ven, who's our defender, because I used to play as a defender also. So I think, and of lately he has been making some mistakes. So I think if I play as a centre back, you'll
take over Van de Ven. And Tottenham has been doing well. I probably should not be talking about soccer. Yanga is doing really well, but Manchester United, not so much. But I'm happy for Tottenham nonetheless. Now, last but not least, this was also not part of the script. Okay. You take pride being a Zaramo. You take pride coming from the coast. You infuse that, you share that with the world. Now, if you had to share 3 things why you like about the Zaramo culture for people, one, who don't know about the Zaramo culture, and people who are interested to know about it. I only know a few people, certain names, Ito Pire. You told me our late president was also Zaramo. So what are the things that you like about our culture and that you like to share with the rest of the world? Your culture, rather, as a Zaramo.
I like it. First, it's a very progressive culture. I would say you always hear about things which I can't imagine in other tribes, in other culture, women being kukeketa,
genital mutilation.
Kufa, and with what kurisiwa, a lot of very funny stuff. And none of that is in Zaramo culture. So we are very progressive people. Also, we have a culture of being very welcoming. That's why Dar es Salaam is full of everybody.
It's a melting pot.
We're easily assimilating other people's cultures without losing ours. We still play on Ludico very well, but we're also open to other people coming up and living with us, etc. We're very welcoming people. And the third should be the way we live the moment. Yeah, look, you'll never hear a Zaramo. I mean, you never commit suicide. There's no such a thing as depression for Zaramo people. What's that?
How do you guys just become happy? Is it taking things easily, or?
It's understanding that life is borrowed. You can die tomorrow. Enjoy today.
Fair enough. Well, Zahoro, this has been fun. I didn't expect anything less than fun. Thank you so much for gracing Evolve with Natu. I know you as a friend, but I figured there's a whole lot about you that the world could learn. Even as a friend, there's a lot of things that I learned today. Most importantly, I wanted most of the Tanzania to know that there's this ecosystem for startups that they can join. It's growing. You've done a lot of great things. You're continuing to do a lot of great things. And the drive that you have on other things, Tanzania related. Thank you. Thank you so much. Asante sana. If I knew how to say asante in Zaramo, I would, but I do not know how. But nakushukuru sana. Thank you.
So much. Thank you so much, Natu. It's been a pleasure.
Amen. And thank you so much for tuning in with Evolve with Natu. Until next time, have a lovely day. Bye-bye.